Good evening, this is Just a Human, and welcome back to Drop Dutchy, where today we'll be looking at the Endless mode. Oh yes, indeed, when you win Act 3 now, you have yourselves Act 4, which as you can probably imagine from the name, goes on endlessly. So we're going to explore that in a little bit more detail today. So, we are going to head on in, and in case you want to have a little look through my current deck here, we are continuing on from where we were when we played as the tribe. I've done one of these at the end of the video originally, so but we are essentially the same thing. I think we might have just maybe upgraded something. I don't know. We got ourselves a monument. There we are. Yes, a lovely, lovely monument. I did have that in my original normal playthrough. I found it very, very fun indeed, especially 25 allies to every allied or enemy group in range. Okay, the enemy bit can be problematic, but just think how many that we have. That can be incredibly powerful. So, yes, we're going to enjoy that, but I will need to be getting some more resources in to upgrade some of my newer cards. So let's try and make sure we do that. We have 4,500 monies, which is hilarious because we heal up very easily anyway, but nonetheless, we'll continue on. I'm going to keep the river card in play. I know I haven't used too many constellations in this here run. I think we just used the Corvus at the start to change shape, and then we moved on to Pisces. Now, there is probably an argument somewhere along here to start thinking about things like Serpens over there, so, or indeed the Centaurus, just to maybe control some particularly strong enemies. But here we are. We've got ourselves a Doomskull alarm tower, garrison 107, which is just silly. Recruit 20 for each military building aligned orthogonally or diagonally. They picked that word just to be difficult with me. There we are. Thieves hideout, which is really annoying because it impacts our money, and that impacts our barracks, of course. And then there's just a normal alarm tower in there. So they start really trying to slap you around the face with some of this stuff. So we will see about that. But we'll keep these guys in for the moment. I think that'll be a-okay. I think it's a pretty strong combination. We need the carpenter and the stonecutter for this particular round anyhow. Let's get ourselves in. We might as well just have a normal cycle through. Obviously, I do get my river cards nice and early with this little setup we have here. So I'm just going to get a load of these in straight away, and this just makes sure that our cannons get in place where I want them. So I'm always quite happy with that. I'm going to say, yeah, we'll just go and do that. And I'm going to use this up immediately and get that over there. All right, very nice indeed. So I'm just going to slap this here. Actually, depends where I want the alarm tower. The alarm towers can be quite annoying, it should be said. So I'm going to say, yeah, you're just the basic alarm tower. So we possibly just want you in this kind of position here. Out of the way a little bit, yes. So the nice thing is that whilst it does say for military buildings, my stonecutter can become a military building if it's on the same river as the Fluvial Guard, which is magnificent. Now, I did notice that last time, technically the shipyard is on water. You can see it's got the yellow background, but I don't think I did fully connect everything at the end last time. I think it needs to be technically still the actual same river per se for the Fluvial Guard, which is a shame, but it's just the way that goes. So there we are. All right, barracks, where do we want you? Now, I wouldn't mind, yeah, we can't put it over there because of the other dude, but I wouldn't mind trying to make sure we can get our river out in at least a couple ways. So I might just put this guy over here for the time being. I can't think if that's a terrible plan, but we're going to do it. So, okay, we're going to lose for buildings in range right now, which isn't great. Now we have ourselves the Doom Tower coming in with all the little dots in the world. That's currently not in my way. There we go. Luckily we got the change around there, which I did desperately need. And get ourselves a carpenter in play. This will do. It's not actually on the river, is it? No, that's a shame. It's a nice bonus if it is, but we'll just have to accept it for the time being. A nice bit of resources. We are kind of lacking very much water right now. I don't like that at all. Oh, this is fun. I can get my Fluvial Guard into position down here. There we go, on the river. And that is excellently good news. Hook them up, baby. And I can see the river castle is indeed coming in. Unfortunately, we are going to get things aligned more than I want, but we're just going to take it, I'm afraid. It's just the way that it goes. You are in position, which is where we need you. Good, 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 good. And I'm going to say, do we just want you in there? Possibly we do. Yeah, I'm just going to say that's fine. We are in line annoyingly, but I'm not too worried about that. Okay, and then we can also try and get him into a decent-ish position. That does, I suppose, connect things up. So let's go and do that. That's not too shabby. Extends that, get someone else on the river. Yeah, can't complain. And at the end of the round then I get my usual 100, which is always nice, of course. Plenty on those barracks, plenty more after this. 5,000 money. It's actually silly, isn't it? The shipyard's a very nice addition. It took us a while to get that one too. I didn't really see it as one of the crucial ones, but it really does add up very nicely eventually. So are they then mostly... Oh yeah, they're swords and things. That's absolutely a-okay. We can axe our way to glory. Well, a couple of buildings aren't on the actual river, but most of them are, so it's not too bad. We're still, yeah, a good 300 or so in the positive, so that's not too shabby, but it's going to obviously get trickier as we continue moving on. Now, what do we actually want here? Now, ideally, the watermill, we got some food. I'm not actually too worried about that, but I will do some re-rolls. We'll see. Double River Castle. It's tempting, you know. Church is fun. I am quite tempted by double fluvial guard, but having flicked through a few times, I'm actually just going to go church, and I'll just grab a religious building, see if it adds up in time. It might do. You can see up to 560 now, which is interesting. But I'll probably grab myself, yeah, something else as a bonus from the sea. Why not? Well, this round is working out interestingly, because their siege guy at the bottom is causing my little buildings a bit of problems. But their prisons are going to be immediately wiped out, which is absolutely lovely. So it might just take a moment actually for that to get up to 60, but I've been lining that one up for a little while, so I'm quite happy about that. The stone and the carpentry going very nicely. There we are, up to 64, and that will kill him off. Absolutely marvellous. Okay, and with that, we'll get ourselves... Ooh, okay, I'm going to say, convert you. Continue the river around, that will be absolutely a-okay, and I'm going to say put the cairn up here because the next one's arrived, so we're going to have to choose that position. But it's going okay. I actually removed a few things from this particular section. Yeah, just slap these guys down there, that'll be a-okay. I've got too much left to come in actually, apart from the actual stone circle. You need to remember that one, Thomas, that one's kind of important. Well, we're doing this one without the shipyard to try and make sure I do something else. I don't remember what. Oh yeah, I was getting the church in, which gives us a little bit of extra faith for bonus resources. Not sure it's going to be worth it, to be honest. But to be fair, I don't really need the extra gold, so I'm not too bothered. Even those little units there, 212 just from all the small little buildings, picking up tiny amounts. And of course, yes, having destroyed two of their buildings, we didn't have too much to worry about there, so I could even take out one of my military guys. Not really being tested yet, but we will see. They still want to give me fishery stuff. Blessing. King 2 for each faith, that's fine. Alright, well, we'll do some re-rolls. It's not a problem. Cathedral could be fun. Okay, you know what? I haven't used this yet. Religious buildings... well, it's not really for this run, is it? The jousting is way too awkward for this. I'm not going for that. But we'll just keep on playing at tax office. Why not? I think the game is actually trolling me now because they have a Doom Fluvial Guard as well as River Castle Supply Line Shipyard. That's mildly annoying, obviously. Also, this Fluvial Guard isn't just any building on the river. It's any building, basically, adjacent to any river. It doesn't need to be the actual connected one, so that's going to be a problem. I do have a solution for that, which is essentially I'm going to switch over to Centaurus, which we haven't used too many of these so far, but transform into the last placed building, keeps the garrison the same. Not worried about the garrison, they've all got the same garrison. What I want is not to have the Doom Fluvial Guard. So I'm going to use that to convert it into anything else. Probably not the shipyard, because that's probably not going to be too great for me either. River Castle I can just keep out of the way, so that might be the one. Supply line, don't worry too much about. Have a little look. See, I think this is the way I want to go in. And you know what? I'd say this is working out perfectly, because in comes a supply line. And I can see the Fluvial Guard coming down the road. That is magnificent stuff. Okay, just want to slap you down there. It's not a terrible plan, in fairness. So it's on the river. The cairn comes in. That is a-okay. And the Fluvial Guard... Oh, the only thing is quite early in the battle. And I need to get some other things down first. Right. So that could be a problem. Let's just make sure I take care of that. We are now ready to use the button, but I really don't want to have a shipyard. That's possibly worse as a situation. I did muck up, unfortunately, the water in the corner there. I might just have to give that up. That's probably just going to be a-okay. I now need to down the cairn, which I'm glad I set that up early. So that's a-okay. You, mister, going to come into here and have a little flipsy. That's now connected round. That's beautiful. And that is more wood as well. Good news, because those supply lines are going to cause us a few problems in that regard. Our River Castle, not theirs, but that's fine, because ours can just be plonked down here. That's plenty on you. You're on the river too. That's perfect. Do I want... So the thing is, I want 2 river castles for them, really, don't I, at this point? So I'm going to say, just slap you down. Oh, this is a problem, actually, because my other cairn is coming very soon. So I might just have to slap their 2 buildings up at the top there. I need to figure out how I'm going to do this. Yeah, I'm going to say, or how do I do it? I'm going to say that will work. I'm going to do that and hope this works out in a moment. I could put this like this. I could put it like that if I really want to. I don't mind being a bit wonky, but there comes their River Castle. So, yeah, I think I might have to just do a slightly strange looking one of you over here. Yeah, just do that. That'll be a-okay. I need that cairn to come in, and actually, quite happy to do that and connect things in like that. If I can get more across, I'd be delighted. But it's not the end of the world if not. And actually, I could just leave the Fluvial Guard in the side there. This isn't extreme. I don't have to place it. So I may have been overthinking this entire thing, but I kind of like using them all up if I can. So I'm going to place you here. And then I'm going to, if I do place the other guy, I guess I'm going to place it over there. We've still got the stone circle to come, Thomas. That's a good thing to note. I'm going to say then, you come in here. That looks like an awful lot of things in line, which is going to be an awful lot of money for us. Oh, that is just beautiful. I don't have to put this into the battlefield, but I'm going to do it anyway because I can, baby. So there we are, a second river castle. You can be slapped up at the top where you're absolutely cocking useless. And actually, I think I can connect all of this now, can't I? That is lovely. As long as I don't cock up the top here. Yeah, going to need to slide that thing in a slightly weird way. How do I... Oh no, this is going to get in the way, isn't it? It won't get in the way if I change over to that. No, 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 no. Okay, you get yourself in. No, no. I mispressed buttons. Anyway, it's all done now, isn't it? We can at least finish a line up there. That's a couple things. It's not a great one. Oh, I think I could have slotted that in. I mispressed my buttons anyway. This one's a bit awkward, obviously, as they go because it's my build, so they kind of gain for it as much as I do. But luckily, I do have all these barracks. That is scary for the shipyard, but of course, it is going to help me as well. They just have a crazy starting amount. So let's fight. And of course, because they do have a bit of each, I am starting with some swords, then going to join up all my axes. So I think we're still looking pretty good here, even though, yeah, we're not necessarily at our strongest in some ways in this battle, but it's all a-okay. Yeah, 800 odd. And we still win with 250 to spare. We could do with the extra money, so we'll take that. Okay, and what card are we getting now? More River Castle. You know what? It's not really what I want, is it? I kind of want other random things. Now, Blacksmith has always been interesting to me. Turn the first 3 Wasteland pieces into River, then Plain, then River pieces. That could be very useful indeed. Do I want copy the resources and/or troops gained by 2 random adjacent buildings? It's just too catastrophically powerful to turn down. Although irrigation is nice. We'll get the blacksmith because we might as well play with new cards. But the other one does look very good. It's up to 900. This is 50% river. Again, high on the river. But they don't have... they just have strongholds. That is interesting. Each empty square or border in range. That's interesting. Only range of 2 though, so it's just a slightly wider range stronghold. This one should be fine. This round has been really awkward the whole time and I forgot to change my constellation, damn it. The Ken is very, very low down because I've had things come at awkward times here. You wouldn't be the worst idea just to try and wrap around this guy in some ways. Kind of ridiculous. And slap you down like that. That'll be a-okay. Ship, it doesn't need to be in place. But the stone circle is still going to be within the can, which is good. I'm going to make that work just. So that is fine. Where do I want you? And I'm going to put the Ken down here straight away because that is actually perfectly placed. So that's good. Still got most things on the river. I want the stronghold in like that. And then we probably want to be slapping this down. I don't know. We can't fully cover that, can we, though? Well, it will have to do. It's not the best, but I'm not too concerned about this. We've still got plenty of strength in their strongholds. Haven't gained too much. Anyway, I think I've got this right. They are all missiles. I did take one of my barracks out for this, which was potentially silly, but there we are. I got my numbers correct. We're going to get lots of merging points and then merge into our swords. So there we are, 100. Well, the tighter wins, but that's what happened when I take out barracks, I suppose. Once again, not a terrible situation. It's kind of crazy that I'm not using moat, to be fair. I feel like we should just take it because it's kind of a part of this, really, isn't it? They are getting ridiculously strong now. A garrison of 308, which is a bit disgusting. So I'm just going to slap him down there. I'm going to put his friend right next to him, actually, as well. Probably for the best. That would be quite nice, actually, to convert in a moment. So let's put... we can't do that, can we? Oh, no. That's mildly annoying. We could do that and put the Ken right at the top. You know what, we'll just slap him up there for the time being. It's a shame not to convert that because I do like to do that, but we'll just put these guys next to each other for the time being. This guy can be converted because I'm pretty sure we have the moat now, and I think that counts for the border. I believe I'm right in that. Surrounded by river or border. Yeah, so we should get an extra 30 on both of those, which is always lovely to see. So, yeah, at this point, we can probably just slap him on there and start thinking about where's a good place for you. Possibly would have been right where we just put that, to be honest. But it's fine. Well, we've got the bridge in play now. That is very nice next to the Fluvial Guard. Just feels right, doesn't it? Just feels right. We'll slap this guy down. Where do you want it? Oh, yeah, we'll slot you in here, actually. That is good. You're on the river too, then, because the bridge technically does count as the river. So that is marvellous. You get yourself onto there. We are kind of running out of river, though, which is a bit of a shame. We'll see how this goes. Shipyard can kind of go anywhere. So we'll slap you onto that position. I do need to think about my Ken, although actually I've already got 3 of them down. It's just it gives me less options in this case. So I'm going to say you get your... Oh, that's annoying. It's just the wrong way around for that. Do I want to extend this river more? But we'll take the chance that the river can be extended later. I don't know that there will be many or any in that case, but we will see about that. That unfortunately doesn't work for the Cairn. That's too many buildings for you, for the Thieves' Hideout. That's annoying. This is it's going to trigger me to lose a load of stuff. But it is what it is. Aha! Water. Water, water, water. That gets me over to the next barracks as well. That's good. Now I just need to build myself up to that cairn. I think we'll probably just... Yeah, we'll keep this nice and simple, I think, actually. Look at all the bonuses. That's absolutely ridiculous. You know what? I will have faith in my ability to build up to it. I've got time now. I've got time to do this sensibly. And there we go, the cairn at the end in that top little corner. Can't really do much else at this point. We'll slide you in. No, that doesn't really finish anything off, does it, Thomas? So that's not particularly helpful. Don't know that there is much I can do. Am I just being a numpty? I think I'm being a numpty, to be honest, but it's fine. We'll just slap it down. Oh, I shouldn't have done that, actually, should I? Because of those guys. Supply lines are really annoying, by the way. I don't think we're going to last much more than the next battle. This will certainly help our barracks, but it's getting tight now. It's starting to get very tight. Let's see how this one goes. Then we're going full swords for sword bonus up to 700 at this point. So that will get us through the 2 missiles. We'll smash into their swords. That should leave us able to get our axes in play. There we go. At this point, then it's just the standard breeze. Yeah, nice to have a few of them surrounded by water. Not all of them, but at least a couple cans. You can normally rely on those first 2 cans. Only 160 win this time. So it's getting tighter as we go on. I don't know that I've got many more tactics I can use here. That's kind of useless, kind of all useless. So let's just re-roll and cease. The cartographer, pretty nice. That does give you a bit of extra. Yeah, it does give you a nice bit of extra. You know what? We'll take it. We'll just take it. We're just seeing how far we can take this now. 1600 and not a lot of river. This could be problematic. This one could be problematic also because, yes, they've got Watchtower for planes, but then Bastion for more planes, Rally Point who lights the planes, and then, well, they're just annoying, quite frankly. I think this is my proper lineup at this point. I guess there's probably room for Bridge to do better, but gaining extra money and the extra connectiveness is very helpful. So I'd say this is pretty much where we're at. Carpenter, I guess we can take you out of this stage. I don't know who is better for us. Blacksmith might work out, but the healing isn't kind of got any point because if we lose, we're going to lose by 100, I suspect. So let's not worry about that. We don't want more planes for this battle. I don't think there's anything else we can really actually train. We can actually get No Mercy up for more money, which actually isn't terrible, but 300 is still needed for that. Everything else, the blacksmith isn't fully upgraded either. Okay, well, let's just keep the carpenter in for this one, but we might potentially want to go triple barracks. I took one out for a little while, but yeah, we struggled without it. Let's head in. Going to do this nice and early. We've got the cairn surrounded, which is great. The rally point, though, it just needs to go down early doors, I think. Just get it out of the way. So I'm going to say we do that. Mr. Stone Circle. Yeah, your job is just get in there. It's probably not the ideal use for you, but we will do it anyway. I'm going to get... I kind of want this guy in play, to be honest. Do we want him here? It's not great, is it? I really don't like these thieves' hideouts. We'll put it there. It gives us more options going forward, but obviously it is going to give him a boost, which is not particularly fun for us. And I'm going to say... I want that extending up, so we'll... I don't like how little, actually, I've got in terms of my space here for my waterways. So, continue like that for the time being. But yeah, we might start to have a problem. I really don't want to cut these guys off. So not straight away. We're going to build that one up. I'm going to get the carpenter... I don't want him here. Carpenter over there probably isn't terrible, actually, just to get it in play. Not sure I like too much of this. We're going to start that down there. Won't get him surrounded, unfortunately. We're going to put the bridge in there just to get things continuously moving. It's not a terrible plan. But we have kind of a cairn coming in, so I might want to think about how I'm building this upwards, actually. Might be that we just slap down the barracks here. The bastion goes down that side. We're going to feed into their military here, but we'll just have to be what it is. As long as I get the fluvial guard in play, then yeah, this is still going to work out. That's actually quite nice. I'm going to do that. Get the river moving up the flank. That's nice. Still got positions to put things in, and that's really the main thing here. Bastion up here is not too bad. 400. That's catastrophic, and he's in range of him. I don't know quite where I want him right now. I might just put the cairn in place whilst we have the chance. Nice and not early doors, but early enough in the doors, I suppose. Do I just want to get this out of the way? Potentially I do, but do I want something else of theirs out of the way up here? I might. Snap him there for the time being. Shipyard on this river. That needs an extra 2 then for the other cairn, which is coming in, so I'm going to say we go for it. We're still waiting for our fluvial guard though, which is kind of terrifying. Do I want... yes, I'm just going to put you here. I don't mind dumping something on the very top corner over there, actually. It might not be terrible. River... Oh, that's the danger of this current situation, isn't it? Now, River Castle can come in... You know what, just go in... Is that a terrible idea? I'm going to put it there. There's a small amount of area to slide other things in. The watchtower potentially could go there, but I don't know quite what I want to be doing until then. No. We are at the point where I think I'm just going to have to ignore their last building just for safety here. I can do that, so I really should do that, to be honest. You can be converted to water, so we're going to do so. Can we actually get you around this corner? We should be able to. And the question is, do I actually just want to do that? I think so. That's probably not a terrible idea, because we can still get the fluvial guard into that space down there. That's not a terrible idea. It is going to get cut off pretty soon, and we are actually going to be in range of this thing, but I'm just going to take that hit, because this gives an awful lot to a lot of things. So I'm happy enough with that. You just slap yourself over there because you're in awkward shape. And you think you're going to be the last one on the river. That's A-okay because that's all I need. One more on the river. Okay, this has been awkward, but I think we're going to make it through. This is a perfect shape. No, it's not, Thomas. It's the opposite of the perfect shape right now. Although it can go in there, it's not terrible. We'll just finish this off. Even with us leaving out their strongest building, they still have around 1,500 strength, but we are still winning it, albeit only with 200. I need 200 to win. But yes, only 200 there, so let's see if we're going to get anything else. Commandery! I love my commandery, but not on this run, damn it. Okay, we'll just have a quick 3 re-rolls. I probably could do this forever. The bridge isn't terrible. Would I want an extra bridge? We could take an extra bridge. You know what? Why not? Let's just do that. Let's just do that. And 5 more cards that interact with rivers. Okay, I'm now river focused. Amazing it's taken me that long into this campaign for that to happen. But apparently, that's fine. So my wood is still... Yeah, we're still short on the wood, aren't we? Don't take that one out of context. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, yeah, no mercy's the other one, but I suspect we're not going to be using much of that anymore. This time, double training camp, which are going to send military to aligned military buildings. These guys, though, gain 200% every time that happens, so we have to, at all costs, make sure that they do not. So one of these is going to be left on the side, preferably that one, because that guy is going to be all sorts of trouble. We're now no longer actually picking up resources, by the way. We're just going double bridge, double barracks, shipyard, fluvial guard, river castle, stone circle. And that will have to do. Rather upsettingly, it has come very, very early indeed, which means I think I'm going to have to be incredibly careful here, because I'm going to need to get... I mean, that bridge currently at the bottom there is currently going half into the water, which is quite amusing. Yeah, what I'm going to have to do then is make sure I'm very careful about this. Right, I'm going to put you onto the river. But I need to make sure that I'm ready for, yeah, when the, when the cairn arrives, because I'm going to need to make sure that I can't put it on the side. So yeah, there it is, cairn. If we do this now, I can put the cairn those 2 corners right away and we'll be A-okay. You are also problematic. I need a spot for you. where you're not going to be a problem. So if you go here, yes, then I've got to make sure I'm careful about the other one later. Fine, we'll just put you there for the time being. I don't really like using my river spots, but I suppose I'll just have to take that situation. Is it just sent to allied? Each allied, it's an 8 into each allied miniature building aligned with it. Yeah, fine, no issues there. So we'll. Do we actually want this guy? Oh, not in there. I could put it in here, but it is cutting off my river just a little bit. And we'll do that for the time being. So there we go. I could have put it at the top actually, just to give the can a bit more height. But actually, my stone circle hasn't come in. Oh, the stone circle's coming. Okay, no worries about that. That is okay. Put you over here. You're in place. That's good. We've got more water here, so I'm going to say we'll do that. Well, actually, I'm now not so sure. I want to get my stone circle in here, but that's fine. We'll get that extended over there. We'll make that work in a moment. I'm going to say maybe just leave it. Oh, no, that guy can't be aligned, can he? So I'm going to say you just slot into there, and that'll be fine. Get you into there. That's fine enough. And now we just have the issue where we're no longer able. That's the Ken spot, Thomas. Do not put things there. Yeah, I've now got the issue where I've got very limited options because I don't want to put that training camp down. The end of this round is nigh, and I'm a little bit concerned. Just the sheer numbers. They have 1,500 here. I mean, as does add up as we go along, it's true. But, yeah, it's a little bit awkward, isn't it? We're starting to have a few holes. I wish I had my cartographer. There we are. There's my cartographer. I do have those. So yes, the squares I filled in, even if they're not complete, do still fill up, which is very nice to help the barracks out. I must say the Fluvial Guard is beginning to be less powerful. Those sort of 18 or so, or however many it sends, doesn't feel like so much anymore. But it's fine. We're still doing well. So we'll just have to. They are mostly axe, so we don't really have much to do with that. So yeah, it's just going to be a pure axe grinder situation. So purely axe, and then into the swords, and then into their swords first, and then into their axes afterwards. So yes, we'll see how much we can get here, but I don't think you can last this long and endless without strength in numbers. I don't know how it would work with the other factions, but we'll keep on going. We're on, yeah, 12,300-ish. Ooh, and that's it. We lost. Oh my. Well, there we go. I'll tell you what, if I put the hands a little bit higher, a bit more money, would have probably just tipped that over the end there, but hey-ho. That is the end, and that's absolutely fine. We've done plenty enough on this. There's probably a few more things we could have had, to be honest. I don't know what they are. But Lush Wood would have been helpful, to be honest, just to get us stuff. Victory! They're still giving us victory. There's my high score. Finished on hard. I guess we'll have to head into extreme, maybe into some of the trials. Oh, magnificent stuff. 170 rows explored. 11,000 recruits eliminated, or 9,000 or so. Oh, that was brutal. You can definitely do more than that, but I think I was happy by that point. They were definitely picking me less river regions, and I was very river specific. But there we go. We can quit to the main menu with a head held high. There we go. Then that is endless mode, and of course we do need to work towards nightmare at this point. There are some trials as well, as I just mentioned. We have some options here. I don't know if there are any more actually added from recent. I don't think I can see any different ones added on there, so maybe they'll add that on. If there is a new DLC at any point, I have loved this game. There's probably room for one more faction. I think it would potentially be a bit, I don't know, maybe you could go on forever, but you know, I feel like these four are looking very interesting and distinct. I don't know what you do. I'd be interested to see more. I'd happily buy another DLC if they're going to make one more. I did one more thing to finish up here on the tribe as well. And we have ourselves, yeah, the progress tree as well, which is looking fairly full at this point. I think I've unlocked everything of the new DLC as well. They're a bit scattered around on this occasion. Some interesting ones on here. Some of these are potentially quite fun. I would like to use the jousting. It's a bit awkward. I'd like a bit of a noble run. Maybe there should be a noble faction. Maybe that's something that there'd be more of an interesting one to do. So we shall see. I'm going to turn down our music here as we head into the theme music for the channel. But yes, we very much loving this game here on the channel. So we will play Extreme before too long. We'll try and beat that. And I think I can probably do that with some of the new combinations. I'm going to try not do it with the way I just did, but it might be, if I'm struggling, it might be the way that we have to, so we will see about that. But for now, I will leave you. Do give me your tips, suggestions of how to play against Extreme. Have you done Nightmare? I'd love to hear about that. We'll make our way to that. How are the trials for you? I feel that there's small changes. Maybe I should practice a bit more of the multi-row, but I guess it just gives you options of how you might want to play. But for now, I will leave you. I'm Thomas, this is Human, and this has been the delectable Drop Dutchy. Thank you, and tally-ho. No! Not again! How did you lose to the archers? Anyone who's already got children, they've just been killed. Filthy pilchards, the lot I am. Oh, Steve! You were the best of all the Steves. Rum pum pa 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 pa.